Today we're here to bring you a reaction from the Tennessee and Texas A&M game. Ron, what you got?
So once again, Jimbo failed to win another big game, and Max Johnson, the quarterback, he threw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter, which just hurt Texas A&M. And they only had 54 yards rushing. They only had 277 yards offense. And again, they have not lived up to the billing that everybody thought Texas A&M would have this season. They're 4-3 right now, and they still got, several tough games left. And I'm just curious to see what happens, to see if Jimbo's going to be able to keep his job at the end of the year.
I agree. The Bobby Petrino, Jimbo Fisher marriage is not working in Texas A&M, man. At the end there, like you said, Max Johnson, 2 fourth quarter interceptions, 5-15 on third down conversions. Like the game was there for them to take, right? They didn't capitalize, they didn't convert on third down, bad turnovers. And like I said, the bringing in Petrino had a lot of hype, had a lot of stuff going right early in the season, but it's not panning out the way they thought it would on the field.
Yeah, I agree. Like, they say 9 out of 10 games are won if you win the turnover battle and if you win the rushing attack, right? And they didn't do either of those things. So you can't go 33% on third down and expect to win a football game, right? And you can't give up big plays on special teams, right? They hadn't punted to D. Williams the whole game, right? The one time they punted this dude, he takes it back to the house, right? They were doing it for a reason. So
Yes.
I don't know if that's on the special teams coordinator. Is that on a punter? Who knows? But the one time you kick it to him, he houses it. And that gave him the lead. And it was a poor performance. It was some of the execution and the red zone was bad. Like you said, him throwing 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter is terrible. And you got to question some of the play calling, man. There were times where they had some windows of opportunities, maybe for some play action stuff, and they just weren't doing that, right? So if you're not making anybody commit or, to put 7 or 8 in the box to commit to the run where you can hit them over the top, they weren't able to do that.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say too, man, is that this Tennessee team is not the same as last year. Last year they were a high-power offense. Hendon Hooker, they were the type of team. They had Hendon Hooker at quarterback. They had like 3 NFL-type wide receivers. They had a great offensive line. They don't have outlet this year. This year they're depending more on the run game. And Texas A&M has a great front seven, but they couldn't do anything with the running back this time. Jalen Wright rushed for 136 yards. So, yeah, it's just whatever it is, Texas A&M with the recruiting class they've had, they should be a stalwart in the SEC, and they're just not there.
It's not making sense. Like, they had, 2 classes ago, they had the best recruiting class of all time, right? They had a good recruiting class last year, and it's not coming together. It's not coming together for them. And Jimbo, he on borrowed time right now. Now, that payout is crazy. I think it's like $76 million if they fire him this year. But they got the money to do it. Who are they going to hire is the question, right? If they get rid of him, who's next?
Who was Jimbo's predecessor? What's his name again? Because at the beginning of this year, they had similar records. Like, who was there?
Kevin Sumlin.
Kevin Sumlin.
They fired Kevin Sumlin. Boom. Right? And to give somebody this amount of money and to have the same exact production, because I think their records.
He's won less games.
Less games.
Yeah.
Kevin Sumlin now.
Yeah.
And they're giving him this buku money. He got to go. If I was to be an A&M like Aggie person, right, fan, I would want him to go.
I mean, yeah, the money ain't coming out your pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But y'all's point, though, they were out rushed, but with a 232 to 54, I think rushing yard. That's staggering, man. You got your ass whooped there. You can't run the ball.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Jimbo, but as AB said, I just don't see him coming back. I don't know who the next person in the pipeline would be. I don't think it'd be Bobby Petrino, of course, but I think whoever comes, they will have a wealth of talent. They just got to be able to put it all together. And they're going to have an alumni, and they're going to have boosters that's willing to help push them to the next level.
Yeah.
So they got 3 losses right now. And looking at their schedule, South Carolina's next on 28.
Mm-hmm.
They're at Ole Miss on 4 October. I mean, November.
Tough game.
Yep.
They're Mississippi State on the 11th. And wrapping up the season at LSU. So easily 2 more losses, maybe.
Yeah. Potentially 2 more losses.
Yeah, I don't. Unless they pull it out and they win out the rest of the season, Jimbo's on the hot seat 100%.
Oh, yeah. If he has 1 more loss, people are going to be looking at him crazy.
Yeah. To be fair, though, he did lose the starting quarterback, Connor Wickman. He did lose him a few games ago. But Max Johnson is a veteran in the SEC. He's been playing for a while.
Yeah.
He's just not getting it done.
I don't want them to sleep on South Carolina either, because Spencer Rattler is an accurate passer in the pocket. He can extend plays with his legs, so he's going to cause them trouble.
It depends, which Spencer Rattler's going to show up. The one that beat down Tennessee last year and looked like a stud out there throwing the ball everywhere. The one who been playing great, when he plays great, but then, some games it's just, where are they at? Where's their offense production at?
Yeah, they got a good receiving core too. I don't know what's up with their defense, man. They let people have long drives on them.
Yeah.
So you can't get off the field on 3rd down. No good. It's gonna be a long game. You can't get off the field on 3rd down as a defense, boy. Like you want your defense to not be playing more than like 60 snaps. Anything over 60 snaps for a defense, tired. They're tired.
Yeah. And that's what happened, like I said, the 3 and outs and stuff like that. All that stuff kind of adds up. That's keeping your defense on the field longer. So
yep.
And the way these offenses play too, man. The rules and everything are in favor of having the wide receivers of the offenses, right? So defenses are at a disadvantage, and then you already giving them less time to rest on the sideline. It's just recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I seen some of the A&M defenders on the sideline with the oxygen mask on, man, trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was struggling. They just get off the field. I think it was 2nd down. Max Johnson throws that interception. I know they like, what the fuck? Just came off the field. Shit. But for people to say that, I've heard on multiple occasions that, from NFL scouts, some NFL GMs, that Texas A&M's defensive line might be the best in college football.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
But
yeah,
the way that they got manhandled in that run game versus Tennessee, I mean, you couldn't tell.
Yeah,
they was getting pushed around.
I know heading into that game yesterday, I want to say they were like 14th in total defense. They was like up there with sacks.
They were number 1 in sacks. Number 1 in the country with 24 sacks heading into that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that defensive line is legit, but again, that defensive line, a lot of those guys are the guys from that class of 2021.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
All that talent, then the production, so the talent's there, no production. That points to what? That points to head coaching.
Yeah.
underdeveloping players not being where they need to be, basic assignments on the field assignments,
Uh-huh.
My man, Jimbo, adios, amigo.
Hey, listen, I like it because, in the state of Texas, if a kid from in-state plans on staying home, they're either going to go to A&M or they're going to go to Texas. With A&M losing the way that they losing, it opens up the door for us.
Yeah.
He's like,
You go there, advocate.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that does it for this episode of the Unbiased Room. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell us how we doing. Peace.